Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, do you know what day it is, baby? It's Friday Eve. I'm going to say it again. Friday Eve. It's Friday Eve, and we're bringing you something special. It's the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. I'm the Midnight Rider. That's the Gentleman Jack. That's the big guy, KG. But you ain't come here to hear us say that this early in the show. No. See, what you came out here to listen to is how people going to react tomorrow morning when they get to work. So when Joyce is over at the coffee machine talking to Shanae, trying to figure out why people trying to win her in the college football game, when you got the guys at the coffee machine, you got the girls at the printer, you got the guy with the day old donuts. You got all these people, and they all muttering, they talking, and they saying stuff, and they like, yo, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, Kiki come in, and she like, hey, did you guys watch that show with them three guys? It's like, oh, we know what you talking about. You talking about the Thursday night Throwdown. Yeah, baby. Oh, we coming to you live and direct this Thursday evening, bringing you sports. In the words of Jacob Fatu, we're going to cover you from post to post and coast to coast. Yada, I mean. That's the host, KG. He going to take it from here.
Jeez. You know, I learned a long time ago, they say you don't follow children, animals, Ray Lewis, and the Midnight Rider. You don't follow them on stage because you'll never, ever live up to the hype. So, as the Midnight Rider said, welcome to the Thursday night Throwdown. Let's start this off right. First and foremost, how you gentlemen feeling tonight?
Good, man. If you couldn't tell.
I'm good. I've been a bit fired up this evening. Been rainy day here in the DMV, but the sun came out a little bit this afternoon, and I was like, man, let's get in the truck, go on the road, do a few errands. Then, of course, as soon as I put my shades on, it started pouring down again. So I was up the road, fellas, and I ran into one of the old high school ball players over here that's currently played D3 college. I can't remember the name of the school, but it was over in Pennsylvania. And he was telling me some things over there, you know. It's like he said they was holding 70 kids on the roster. I was like, oh, Lord. But he told me, he's like, yeah, I'm going to transfer to Salisbury and play club ball. He said, being a Division III, Division II, Division I athlete is more than a full-time job. He said, dude, he don't work that hard to get paid. So he's going to work and play club ball now at Salisbury. He said to get out there in the morning, then go to class, then come back in the evening, then do your homework. And he's just like, then you got your weekends, then you got off season. He's like, man, being a college athlete now, it's not what it used to be. And, you know, D3, they're not getting that NIL blessings like a lot of the cats in D1 are getting. So, you know, he grew up, his folks got they're watermen, and he's been working with his daddy since he was a teenager, making good money. And his mom, she runs the Readers, and she's in real estate. So he's been working at Readers and handling the business side. And that's what he was majoring in, business. And I think he had a side of entrepreneurship. So I just see that, is this going to be, I guess there's always going to be a D3 sports programs, but are they going to start falling off at some of the smaller schools because of all this? And the kids just saying, man, it's easier just to play club ball and I can still go to work and make my paper because these kids want that paper. Hell, that boy drive a better truck than I drive, and he's 19 years old. He got an $80,000 truck. So I found that was a trip that I learned that, you know, a kid saying it's just too much. So I've been out doing some networking, and if anybody saw In the Passenger Seat last night with head coach Justin Cunningham from Leonardtown High School over there at St. Mary's County, Maryland, awesome show. Go to Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. You can catch that show. We're on YouTube. We're on where we at? Apple Podcast, Odyssey, Spotify, we everywhere, baby. So I've been working. I know we've had a rush of football coaches lately, guys. But we got some women coming up. We got actually a former female quarterback. I've been in touch with some flag football coaches, guys, since that was a topic on the show a few shows ago. We was talking flag football. So I found a coach, and he seems pretty intense and a real deal. Flag football coach. I'm lining up things with a softball pitching coach. Can't wait to get confirmation from her. And also I want to get the Kent Island High School Buccaneers lacrosse coach, Robert Woolley. I'd love to get him on the show. What he's done with that program over there, it blows my mind. And I guess I didn't notice it all as much because I'm, working with the baseball program during my spring times. And I knew they'd won some ships, but they won a lot of ships. So, yeah, that's what I've been working on these last 2 days, guys. And we got an awesome amount of great interviews coming up in the passenger seat. That's Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. And I look forward to getting into the night's Thursday night throwdown with the fellas. Thanks for letting me talk about that. Y'all got anything to add on that college story I just told you?
Well, I'll say this about D3. D3 used to be where you went to work on your skills, and then you moved up to Division 2, and then remember you had Division 2, then 1AA, then you had Division 1A. You don't have those anymore.
Let me get into something else I didn't mention. He says guys are leaving every other week. He said, you have a great game or something, or a great, week. Because he said they'll play like a 3-game set, and there'll be a doubleheader on Monday and a solo game on Tuesday. So they'll play 3 games in 48 hours. He said they probably play upwards of 60 to 65 games a year. And he said, 1 week a cat can have an awesome game, and he could be gone the following week because he got picked up by another school. It's just crazy.
Man.
So it's going to be something, if this stuff doesn't get governed properly.
Midnight Rider?
No comment.
Out of bounds checking in.
You can say in the passenger seat. Rock,
number 1. Thank you. Fan club's in the house tonight, baby. Tim Creamer says Jack Madden, my man.
What's up, cuz? Hang in tonight. We got some talk.
Okay.
We got some talk. Get Tim. Hang in there.
We got to start this off on a sad note because news came out yesterday and hit close to home for me because I personally considered Jim Irsay a friend because I've interacted with him several times on the Twitters and the X and things like that and general conversation. Always been a fan of his. And he passed away yesterday at the age of 65. His pops bought the team when he was 12 years old and what's that, 78? No, 71, I'm sorry, 71. Of course, we know about the whole move from Baltimore to Indianapolis and how that transpired. The first year in Indianapolis, he took over as GM. And he was GM of the team from 84 to 96. And then he took over as owner in 97. 2 Super Bowl appearances. Super Bowl champion. And I was at Super Bowl 41. Go ahead.
You know how old he was when he became the GM?
24
36?
years old, youngest GM ever.
He was 24? I thought he was 34.
24. No, 24 years old when he became GM in 1985, 83.
Yeah.
Really.
Y'all killing me. I knew he was young. That's where I was going. But it was in heaven. You know what I'm saying? He had no choice.
Well, he did have a choice because remember,
what?
Even though he was the GM, he replaced Frank Cush as a GM. And during that whole time, when they were trying to figure out where they wanted to move to, he said his father, the late Robert Irsay, called him and was like, "You need to get down to Phoenix." And he said he called Kush. He said, "Kush, the old man wants us to go to Phoenix." And, "Oh, what are we going to Phoenix for? I don't want to go to Phoenix. Let's go to Florida." He said they got on a plane and wound up in Phoenix. And somehow, some way, it got leaked that they were in Phoenix. And he said he called his dad that morning. And his dad said, "Where are you?" He said, "Phoenix." "What are you doing in Phoenix?" He said, "You told me to go to Phoenix." "Ah, geez. No, don't just leave Phoenix. I'll call you back." Because I referenced this on Tuesday night. If you watch the 30 for 30, the band that wouldn't die, you'll get all those stories from Jim Irsay himself in that documentary, which is, like I said on Tuesday, very, very great documentary. You learn a lot of what happened behind the scenes. But
okay,
he had a class of Hall of Famers that he was able to work with, including Eric Dickerson, Marshall Faulk, Bill Poley, and Tony Dungy, Marvin Harrison, Edwin James, and Peyton Manning, of course. So,
yeah, him and Peyton Manning had a pretty good relationship.
Yeah, and him, T.Y. Hilton, a lot of the players, absolutely love him. So I turn this over to Jack, then the Midnight Rider, and then we'll get to some comments. Go ahead, fellas.
Yeah, big guy. That's pretty much, where I was going with it. He's very young. I knew he was very young when he took over the team. And what I was saying pretty much about No Choice, I mean, his dad passed. He inherited it. Definitely going to keep it in the family. Didn't see him thinking about selling, nothing like that. They say he was a youngster when his old man purchased the team, so that's what he grew up knowing. So it's pretty much say he was born into it, raised into it. So, yeah, and it seems like everybody that I've heard has always said he's a good owner. So they don't seem to have too many debacles with contracts in Baltimore, and it seemed like they made a lot of good moves. They trusted in Ozzie Newsome for all those years. So, yeah, I mean, so who's in line to take his place?
Wrong Baltimore, Jack. Wrong Baltimore. He trusted in Bill Poley in all those years.
Huh?
In Indianapolis.
In Indianapolis. What else?
Yeah, you said Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. All
you got Baltimore on the brain.
Being born into it in Indianapolis. Yes, you're right. So who's going to be taking over things for him now?
The daughters.
His daughters. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the oldest one, I think her name is Carly. She's right now, I think, the one that's going to handle most things, but they're still kind of hammering that part of the situation out.
Got it.
Don't she still got to be confirmed by the rest of the owners?
I mean, probably so, but if it's in a will or it's depending on how they have it set up. So the three daughters are taking over. I don't know the part that they have really talked. The three daughters are going to inherit the team. So they got to figure out, how they want to operate, but they can inherit it. And then that's it. Because you don't have to really have an approval for that. Because I don't remember what's the young lady? Virginia, the Chicago wife. Yeah, I don't remember her having to get approved. And if she did, then they just did it in one of them, because they can call a meeting anytime. And they probably just did it and got it over with.
Yeah, I thought it needed some kind of approval regardless. I don't think I recall anybody that's been turned down.
Because, I mean, you had McCaskey.
We'll look into it.
She got one of the people in Buffalo, I think, passed away.
We'll look into
it. Don't forget Georgia Fontier with the Rams. Matter of fact, that's kind of crazy because Carl Rosenblum actually owned the Baltimore Colts, and Robert Irsay bought the Los Angeles Rams at the time. He swapped franchises with Carl Rosenblum. He took over the Baltimore Colts. Carl Rosenblum took over the LA Rams, and when he died, his wife at the time wound up taking over, and she was the one that led them to St. Louis and the greatest show on turf and things like that. So it's like one of those domino effect things that happen. His daughters are Carly, Casey, and Kaylin. Those are the 3 daughters that will quite possibly be the owners. One of the things, well, a couple of things that made me a fan of Jim Irsay, when Rush Limbaugh, and I know wherever Sam is, Sam will love this. When Rush Limbaugh wanted to buy the St. Louis Rams, he wouldn't vote for it. He was a part of a group to buy the St. Louis Rams, and Irsay wouldn't vote for it. He said, I can't see myself voting for it. Out of the things that he said and the inappropriate comments he made. You spoke to my heart with that. When
the thing that gets lost on Irsay is the humanitarian that he is. The Irsay YMCA that they have, the fact that there's stories of people that have actually just been walking down the street and he gives them $100, or he finds out a fan is coming to the game and he's actually paid for flights and paid for people to stay in the city so they didn't have to come out of pocket. His conversations with his players, calling players throughout the year, see what they're doing, see how they're doing, what their thoughts are on the team, things of that nature. He did a lot of stuff on the back end that people don't know about, and unfortunately, some of his legacy is going to be his drug use and his arrest, over top of the philanthropist, and then we as Washington Commanders, Redskins football team, sometimes why we owe him a debt of gratitude, because he was the person that came out right after that article and said that Dan Snyder doesn't need to own a team, and then within a year, that became a thing. That became a reality. So I think we owe him some level of saying something that the other owners didn't want to say, and they were saying on the radio, I can't remember which show I was listening to, that comment kind of came out after the article where it talked about Daniel Snyder having, like, if they would try to force him to sell, Dan Snyder had private detectives and dirt on all the other owners, and that's kind of what sparked the Irsay comments, or that's what people are speculating. So there you go.
And I agree. I was getting ready to go there myself. So,
great
and I'm glad you went there. I'm glad you went there because look at it this way, as a Commanders fan, if you will. It got us out of the dark ages. Let's just say that. It had a hand in getting us out of the dark ages. So, couple of comments real quick before we move on. Matty Ice checking in said Kane's already down 1-0, 115 in. This shit is getting so stupid. Going to lose 14 in a row in the Eastern Conference Finals games. Jeez.
No.
That ain't even out of the first period yet.
No. You're falling for it. No.
Is this so good?
This is the gloom and doom. They're so good.
I ain't used to all the people doing different versions of that. I thought KG was on like that.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's stale.
This is don't buy this one. This is wolf tickets right here.
J-Dub checking in saying, what up, fellas? What's happening, J-Dub?
What's going on, J-Dub?
All right, fellas, if I can take a few minutes of your time real quick. Just want to get something off my chest, if you don't mind.
Let's go.
To you.
I might have to go to, let me go ahead and solo on this one.
Solo dolo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you as a sports fan. We got more eyes on the WNBA than we've had in previous seasons. And it's people that are just watching the WNBA for the first time. Those people that are just watching the WNBA and you're getting all caught up in the whole Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing, and then you're getting caught up in the RG3, Ryan Clark thing, and I'm like, okay, here's the thing. You just got here. Sit down, shut up, don't touch nothing, enjoy the games. Stop making everything about black versus white, a black woman versus a white woman, black people versus white people. Stop making it about race. If Angel Reese says, I don't like Caitlin Clark, in between the lines, y'all gonna take it and run with it. They both said they don't have any beef with each other, but when they step on that court, they got beef with each other. You're supposed to. Okay? You're blowing this out of proportion to the point that it's not even fun to talk about the WNBA anymore. I said this to the boss BJ earlier. I said everybody talks about Angel Reese and people want to defend her, but you have to watch her game. She needs to polish her game. Her game is not as good as a lot of people, but she's a double-double machine. A lot of her rebounds are her own misses, but she still gets a double-double every night. I would love to see her work better in the paint because she's got the size to really put it to somebody. I think she could be a 20 and 20 a night lady with a higher shooting percentage, but that's just my opinion. I see the potential in her. But when you say that, somebody said something about that earlier today that I saw, and the comments were, oh, you hate black women, you don't like black women, is your mother black? In a basketball term, Angel Reese is a marginal player right now. Can she get better? Yes, she can. That has nothing to do with her color. Everybody has room for improvement. I can be the best at my job today. When I go to work tomorrow, guess what? I need to get better at selling these cars at Helen Hunt Motors. That's it and that's all. Everybody can be better. We all can be better. But to take it as Angel Reese is this and she's that, and then you got the other side saying, well, oh, she's this, she's that. Yo, stop it. Y'all are ruining the sanctity of basketball with this. If Caitlin Clark said it's not a big deal, Angel Reese said it's not a big deal, then it's not a goddamn big deal. Shut up. Let's just enjoy this. Like, yo, I'm tired of talking to people about the WNBA, and that's all you talk about. You don't talk about the aces. You don't talk about Asia Wilson. You don't talk about the Mystics. You don't talk
Alicia
about
Copper.
Huh?
Alicia Copper. Other good ball players in the league.
You don't talk, and nobody's talking about Paige Buchers, Paige Buckets. She made her debut and nobody's talking about it because all you're focused on, you got blinders on. All you can focus on is Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. The league is bigger than them. I said it when they were in college. This is your potential for your Bird versus Magic, yes. But guess what? It's a whole nother league outside of that. It's other teams outside of that. Please, please, please. If you don't know nothing about the league, don't try to tell somebody that does watch the league and has been watching the league for years how to feel about a league that you know nothing about. You don't watch the post-game press conferences. You may read the box score or you watch a little blurb. Sit down and watch an actual game. I can honestly say that 55 to 60% of these new fans don't even watch the games. They just make comments and make think pieces online about something that you know nothing about. Learn what's going on before you start talking. That's all I'm saying. And it's to RG3 and Ryan Clark. RG3, dude, you got a problem, man. And you need to fix that. But I have a problem that I need to fix first. To Rob Parker, for years, I've hated on you, and I was like, why would you say that? I am sorry. And I'll say that till I'm blue in the face. Rob Parker, I am sorry. You made that statement years ago about him being a cornball brother. I am sorry, because you were absolutely right. Now I back off from it. I'm done. Just wanted to get that off my chest.
I gotta agree. I gotta agree with Midnight Rider, man. You need some new friends, some new people to follow.
I follow everybody. Man, you got stuff in the FYP. James King said, But why critique Angel Reese only? No positive about fast to 450 rebounds. Everyone can improve. Why talk about Reese's game only? Caitlin Clark can improve. Everybody can improve.
Yeah.
It's not just about her. But everybody always wants to talk about one side, never talk about the other. They don't talk about the positives with the girl.
Yeah, but
everybody, that's all everybody focuses on. But most people that focus on that don't even watch the game.
Angel Reese gets a lot of rebounds. Look at her layup percentage. Her layup percentage is horrible. Look at her percentage shooting in the paint. It's horrible. That's where she gets a lot of her rebounds, man, in my opinion.
Put it this way. Close your, well, not even close your eyes. Use your imaginations.
Sure.
Instead of that being Angel Reese, let it be Rudy Gobert. Okay? That's Rudy Gobert that's missing it around the paint. He's not, he doesn't make a lot of shots around the paint. He's getting his own misses and putting them back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I'll say that about him too.
As far as Caitlin Clark, let's say Caitlin Clark is, let's say Caitlin Clark's Jeff Hornacek, for lack of a better term. I'm drawing a blank right here. Let's say she's Jeff Hornacek.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be no argument. It wouldn't be no, well, you don't like this person, you don't like that person. It's two players that you see in the league, and that's not the only player. It's like it's a whole montage of WNBA players that miss layups on fast breaks and everything else. It happens. Everybody can get better. Not just the WNBA, the NBA. The NBA can really get better. I prefer to watch the WNBA over the NBA anyway, but the NBA can really get better. But come on, man. These think pieces about who people love and all that, come on, man. That's not my rant. Dude, what I'm saying is it does not matter. That's the whole point. Okay, let's get off this, because if we don't, it's going to go left. I don't really feel like going left because y'all not getting it. You're not getting it, and I don't.
I get it.
No, I know y'all get it. Listen to what I'm saying, James. I'm using her as an example. I'm not. Can I critique her game? I critique everybody's game. This is what I sit here and do. This is why I formed a podcast, so I can have my opinion all over the place. This is why I did it. Because I can critique her game. If you can't handle somebody critiquing another player's game, but y'all can critique LeBron's game, you critique Jordan's game, but we can't critique Angel Reese, what makes her better than the greats? Come on, man. What makes her better than the greats is she can't get critiqued. She needs to work on her goddamn post game. That's it and that's all. Like, why can't we critique her game? Oh, because she's a black woman, we can't critique her game. So now because I critique her game, I don't love my mother? Is that what we gonna say?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Just one thing real quick.
I just want to know if that's what we're going to say. We can't critique her game. She don't need to be in the league. If you can't critique a player's game, you shouldn't be in the league. Even in pickup ball, your game gets critiqued. We can't critique her game? So, I mean, if that's what we're going to say, we can't critique her game, all right, then. We don't need to talk about nothing about the Chicago Sky. We don't need to talk about no other players. I've critiqued Asia Wilson's game. I've critiqued Kelsey Plum's game. I've critiqued every player that I've watched the game. I've critiqued Brittany Griner's game. But if I can't critique her game and say she needs to get better, she does. What's wrong with that? I've said that about countless NBA players. I've said it about countless NFL players. I've said it about countless MLB players. What makes her so better that I can't critique her game? I don't understand. I don't understand the concept. I don't understand the correlation.
Wow.
I understand what she's doing. And she got rebounds and points. And great. That's cool. That does not mean that her game's trump tight to the point that it does not be critiqued or it can't get better. Come on, man. Are we really doing? What are we doing here? Are we really doing this? Did you really just push my button to make me go here right now? Are we serious?
God damn. Need some blood pressure medication?
Jesus. Are we really serious right now?
Dude.
When gripe becomes beef.
Are you serious right now?
Hold on.
You get
I'm asking everybody to stop the left and the right shit and just talk about basketball. But we talk about Angel Reese here. Angel Reese. This is what we talking about. This is what we got beef on. This is what you got me gotten beef on. Okay. I gotta think about my blood pressure. Let's just get to the comments.
I'm just saying, it sounded like you was going.
Let's just get to the comments.
You go
James
hard.
said,
450 points and rebounds, fastest in WNBA history.
That's great.
We gave her props for that.
Yeah, all good.
Why y'all still talking about her game? Y'all about whole sports. Stop just talking about Reese and how she scores.
She don't score that much.
Keep going. Go to his next comment because I gotta figure out where he's going. Talking out both sides of mouth, but you can't get mad because folks don't agree. Yes, you can. You brought up not just them two in the league, but then went right into critiquing just her game on your diatribe. Okay. Well, I just think. Oh, and then Maddie with his 2-0, not a bit. No reverse jinx can work when you have been swept in 3 straight and soon to be 4 Eastern Conference Finals. I think we do a good job about talking more than just Reese and Caitlin Clark. I think the topic at hand just became.
I think we do too.
The conversation that's been leading the sports world. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. And that's cool, but that's why Jack and I kind of.
Whole point.
We good. We got you, dog.
No, I know. But my whole point is,
I'm in your corner.
If we talking sports, people gonna get critiqued. And I was using her as an example. Does she need to work on her game? Yeah. Does Caitlin Clark need to work on her game? Yeah. I've been saying that since she came out of Iowa.
If you want to make it in any league, you got to work on your game.
You got to work on your craft. It don't matter what line of work you in. But here's the thing. And
let's pin this.
Hold on. Let me say this, and then we can go to the next thing. Here's the thing. If you've attended class long enough, you would know how much I've praised Angel Reese over the last 3 years since she was at LSU. I've praised her work ethic, her demeanor, everything about her. But I've said, if she gets a post game, a solid post game, she gonna be dangerous. I've said that for 3 years.
I don't never critique her basketball skills. I mean, what she did in college and what she's done in the league speaks for itself. I just think, this is just my opinion now, I think Angel Reese wants to use this bad guy or this villain role and use it to get more popularity, man.
Why not?
I may be wrong, but I think that's all it is.
And if she does, I think that's a good thing. Because somebody got to wear the white hat, somebody got to wear the black hat. I love being a villain. Let's do it.
But Clark coming up and being the next face of college basketball for the next 2 years, 3 years, kind of put her in a position to be able to play against the haters or the villains and not draw into that game. You've seen her walking away from stuff even in college with players taunting her or trying to deer up on a foul shot. You know, somebody shooting a foul shot and they D'ing her up when there's 2 shots to be done. It's like a little bit overboard, you know. But Caitlin dealt with that well. So I just think out of Angel Reese, she's going to keep adding fuel to the fire, if that makes any sense how I said that. I think Reese is definitely going to take this and use the villain role as a popularity tool. So that's what I see. I don't hate on either one of them, and I don't watch either one of them because of what color they are. And I think a lot of the haters do that. Hate to say it. You get all these white folk that don't know a damn thing about WNBA basketball, but Caitlin Clark's on all the TV shows, all the news outlets, for the past 4 years. And I think that those are some of the folks. And then the popularity of WNBA has just drawn in fans that haven't watched WNBA for an extended amount of time to make some of these opinions, I feel. And that's what you were stating as well, KG. So I go with it. But
absolutely.
Let's get into some today's basketball.
And we got to that. And I was going to ask where you want to go to, and to James King. Man, you've been here long enough. You know it don't take much. God damn.
No lie, James.
It don't take much. And I've been waiting. And you know it don't take much. But I'm going to tell you this, James King. I'm calling you by your whole name, James King. I'll tell you this. Damn, I thank you for lighting that goddamn fire. I appreciate that. I'm going to tell you that. Appreciate that. Because the thing is, we can talk about this and we can hoop, holler, and yell and still come back the next day and pick up right where we left off and be good about it. So, Maddie said 3-0 getting ran out of our own building. Ooh.
It ain't.
Ooh. Now you got problems.
Dog.
Mm.
Ooh. That's what's on my TV right now. Every time I look up, it's another number. I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey, M1. That's one of them cookie jumps.
Yeah. I was about to say it.
Not good, cookie.
Well, let's look at this. We're gonna talk about some now basketball, as Jack say. The Thunder 114, the T-Wolves 88. This was last night. No, I'm sorry, night before last. Game 1, Julius Randle gave you 28 points, 8 rebounds. Anthony Edwards, 18 points, 9 rebounds. And that was the only 2 players that scored in double figures. Speaking of Rudy Gobert, he was 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Mike Conley, 7 points.
Triple single.
DiVincenzo, 9 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound.
Triple single. He
had a lot of.
He's not good enough to get a triple single reference. You gotta be a better player than he's a 6 man. He like a 6 or 7 man. Only starters get the triple single.
Man,
new rule.
Okay. For the Thunder, Jalen Williams 19, 8 rebounds. Chet Holmgren 15 and 7 rebounds. Hartenstein 12 points, 5 rebounds. SGA 31 points, 9 assists. And those are all your double figures. Dort had 5 points. Caruso had 9. Isaiah Joe had 7 points, but 8 rebounds to go with it. As a team, the Timberwolves shot 34.9% from the floor, 29.4% from the three-point line, and 71% from the free throw line. The Thunder shot 50% even from the field, 52.4% from behind the arc, and 80% from the line. They out-rebounded the Wolves 46-42. They had 13 steals to 5, and they only turned the ball over 12 times compared to the T-Wolves 17. And they had 54 points in the damn paint to 20 that the T-Wolves had. Jack, what you think about Game 1 in the Western Conference Finals?
Well, Game 1 went about exactly how I thought it was going to go, except I thought it would be closer. My over-under of 210 was intact, in which definitely the correspondent said he didn't think that would happen. Not sure where the Midnight Rider tuned in on that one, but
I thought this would be a higher score.
The defense was there. The defense was there. It just wasn't there for Minnesota like usual. I want to say, and you did just read the stats, but OKC shot 50% from the field, I believe. That can't be happening. You can't do that, especially when you are a defensive-minded team like the Timberwolves. So I expect them to make some adjustments. They D'd up Ant pretty well. So yeah, I look, like I say, this is just game one, man. This is going to be, I think, a long and exciting series. So, yeah, congrats to OKC coming out game one and putting it down. Putting it down. You know, they put it down. And like I said, I think this is going to be a pretty fun series. So that's what I saw. Midnight Rider.
KG, you got
Yes,
those
sir.
you got those turnover stats because that's gonna be that's the number.
Mm-hmm.
The turnover stats: 17 for the T Wolves,
Third quarter.
12 for the Thunder.
Oh, not as many as I thought.
The Timberwolves turned the ball over a whole heck of a lot, and that's when that third quarter run that Jack just mentioned. That's when they came in and they just ran them out of the building at that point.
Out the gym.
It seemed like every time they made a mistake on a dribble or on a pass, there was a hand there, and it belonged to a OKC Thunder player, and it was all over from there. It was crazy the way they took over that ball game, and I forgot who the announcer was, but he said they were going to pull away, and I swear it looked like somebody just pulling away in their car, like you just riding real fast with somebody, and all of a sudden they hit that gear that your car ain't got, and they gone. He gone.
They gone.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Yeah.
I think we need, or the kicker for Minnesota is Anthony Edwards got to grow up. He's got to get better at the things he does on the court, because I think he cost them with a tech early on, and it's just unnecessary. He's a good player. He's too good of a player for the shenanigans. So that's where I'm at on that.
I'm gonna say this: if the Timberwolves expect to get past OKC, Rudy Gobert cannot score 2 points and get 3 rebounds. Rudy Gobert got to give me at least a double-double. I'm not asking him to give me cat numbers and give me 20 and 20. Rudy Gobert can give me 20 and 15.
Cat
and that's a dub. Huh?
I said cat don't give you cat numbers.
Well, he don't. Oh my God.
The big meow.
Nah, cat don't give me cat numbers, but I think when it comes down to it, cat can be clutch. But he don't give me cat numbers all the time. I need a little bit more from Gobert. I need a little bit more from Anthony Edwards. I need more than 18 points from Anthony Edwards. And then the bench, they went kind of deep. You know, off the bench, you had DiVincenzo, Alexander Walker, Reed, Clark, Dillingham, Garza, Minot, and Shannon. And those guys gave you 9, 8, 4, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0. You need more production. DiVincenzo is not there for his scoring. He's there for his defense. But he can score. You know, former Final Four MOP for Villanova. But something's got to give. They got to come out in game 2, which is tonight. Should be on right now.
Yes, it's 8-7, 8:09 in the first quarter.
But you need more. As far as the Thunder, keep doing what you're doing, hun. Y'all all right. Just you got to keep your foot on the gas. If you got your foot on their neck, don't let them up.
Oh, I thought you was about to break out some Mary J. Blige and what's my man? What's the 411? Got it going on.
Got it going on. Don't get me started.
J Dub said Minnesota shot terrible in the second half. They were outscored 70-40 in the second half.
That's right.
They shot terrible a whole game.
They came out early. They came out early. They was good. It was good early.
2/3 through the second quarter, and then end of the second quarter, end of the third was lights out. Somebody pulled the lights over their eyes, man, because they couldn't see shit.
It was all couple lane time.
Here's the funny part about that. As much as we love to talk about 90s basketball, you can't get by shooting 30, 35, 40% from the floor and expect to win games in this era of basketball. You got to shoot 45 to 50%. You got to shoot pretty damn good from the floor and expect to win games consistently. Because when you got off shooting nights,
yeah, when you have all shooting nights, you can't transition off of that. I mean, your shooting is going to be the thing that gets you going. And what we've seen in these playoffs is some reason teams just can't find the bucket. And I mean, it's amazing how they go from the basketball looking like, the rim looking like the ocean, and then it turns around and becomes something completely different. It becomes the size of a penny. So it's crazy, but that's how it's been so far.
Well, looking on the other side. Now, hold on. Let me ask. Before I even do that, I'm sitting here with two coaches. What do you say to your team? Gentleman Jack, Midnight Rider, as my coaches, what do you say to your team when you're having an off shooting night? Things ain't going right. You're not getting the bounces. How do you keep your team interested to keep going?
Well, I mean,
the first
half, yeah. I think the first thing you say, because Minnesota didn't miss in the first half, and I think when you got in the halftime and you're OKC, you're only down 4. Meanwhile, Julius Randle out there looking like Larry Joe Bird Jr. Jr. You go in the room and you say, "Hey, look, they played their best half. That's the best they got. They just did their Anita Baker. They gave us the best that they got. So now all we gotta do is come out and just play our game, because we haven't played our game yet. They haven't seen our best."
Yeah, Cat was 4 for 5 behind the stripe, man.
Maybe you gotta evoke a little lead, because at your best is you. I know. You know what I'm saying? Positive motivator.
Definitely.
That's it for the songs of that. I think.
No, it's not. It's never it. Next up, this is a barn burner, fellas. This was a daggone barn burner. Went into OT, 138-135. Pacers up 1-0. Siakam, 17 points. Nick Smith, 30 points. 14 from Miles Turner. Halliburton gave you 31 and 11 assists. And he gave you the Reggie Miller celebrate with the choke. 15 points from Nembhard. You got 10 from McConnell. Mathurin, 9 points. Obi Toppin gave you 8. Thomas Bryant, former Wizard, gave you 4. For the Knicks, Hart gave you 8, but he gave you 13 boards with that 8. Anobi gave you 16. Cat, double-double. 35 and 12.
Yeah, it ain't no 2020.
Bridges gave you 16. Brunson gave you 43.
Game. Oh, yeah, he did.
And damn near he played 39 minutes.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the previous game, the blowout.
Okay. Miles McBride gave you 9, 6 from Cameron Payne, and 2 from Mitchell Robinson. Team stats. Pacers shot 51% from the field, 40% from behind the arc, 75% from the free throw line. I'm sorry. These teams, I'm going to have guys in the daggone gym shooting nothing but free throws if I keep seeing people shoot like this. Because I don't know what it is, but when I see teams shooting under 85% from the free throw line and Shaq's not on the team, I get a little cringy. I don't like that. The 39 rebounds for the Pacers, only 7 turnovers. For the Knicks, they shot 51% from the field, but only 32% from behind the arc, 70% from the free throw. They out-rebounded the Pacers 46-39, and they had 15 turnovers. Points in the paint, 62-50 in favor of the Knicks. Gentleman Jack, what did you think about game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals?
It didn't disappoint, I'll tell you that. But how New York lost that 9-point lead is beyond me. I sat there when it was coming down to 3 minutes or so, and I'm like, man, Indiana's got several 7-point comebacks in the final minute and a half. Some in its playoffs. So I was wondering, are they going to come back from 9? Then they had a couple missed foul shots, and it made the foul and shoot foul shots technique work. A couple big threes were hit. I think it was Nemhard hit a big one, in which I thought Nemhard really had to step up in order to play. Mathern was a no-show. He's really important to step up and give him 15, but he was no-show in my opinion. Halliburton did what he needs to do, be a scorer and facilitator, 31-11. Great game by him. The choke celebration, I thought, very premature, but he thought it was a 3, as most everybody did when the shot hits the back of the rim, bounces up higher than the shot clock, and that thing came down and barely moved the net, man. It was nuts. So the choke thing would have been on point if they won the game, and I was like, damn, if they lose in OT, this is going to suck. But Naismith, that was who I was hoping to have a good game out of, and he exceeded what I wanted. I was hoping to get 20 out of him. He threw a 30-point up there. So New York did everything but close out. Towns had the big game of 35 and 12, 4 for 8 from 3-point land. Like you said, he was looking like Larry Bird out there putting up them threes. Anunoby and Brunson, they ran into foul trouble. So the final maybe half of the fourth quarter and overtime, they had to D up cautiously. I've seen several layups made on Brunson in the end of the fourth, into the overtime, where he had no choice but to just check the ball in, inbound the ball, because he didn't want to pick up that 6th foul. And you definitely don't want your best player doing a dumb play and picking up that foul. So it was a great game. I just don't understand how the Knicks lost it. They're going to be kicking themselves in the ass and maybe be another 35 years before they get back to this championship game if they don't straighten shit out. So I hope I didn't talk too much about it, Midnight Rider, but I did. I watched that game minute for minute. It was an awesome game. What you see?
You still left some fat on the bone. It's all good. The first that I got to bring up is since 1997-98 season, if you're trailing by 7+ points in the final minute of the fourth quarter or overtime, teams are 4 out of 1,640. Problem is the Pacers have been involved in 3 of them. The Pacers are 3-0 in that scenario, and it's all happened this playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Number 2, KG, you asked me last time we were talking about ball games. You said if you were a coach, what do you say to your team? I go into the locker room on the dry erase board. If I'm the Knicks, I write the name Aaron Naismith, and I write down 8 for 9. If he shoot 8 for 9, I'll take that loss. I don't care, because there's no way. As Jack said last series about Anunoby, there's no way he's shooting 8 or 9 this whole series. And if he do, then I'm just gonna be the jackass that lose, because I'd rather lose with him giving me that kind of performance than anything else. And I think they got to control Halliburton a little bit better. But I mean, if you, I guarantee you, if somebody came down last night and walked in the room and told you, "Hey, play Aaron Smith for 8 3-pointers tonight. He gonna go 8 for 9." You'd have laughed him out the room. You'd have told him those drugs. You wouldn't have listened to that person, and that's
it. Wouldn't have been an option on your bet slip.
Exactly. Because it'd have been like plus 1 million. Like, it's no way he gets 8 threes. It's just,
I don't even think 5 would be an option for him.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just, I think he had a special night. Yeah, it's once in a lifetime that he's going to play like that.
I feel you.
I say, hey, we lost our heads late. We can't take our foot off the pedal. It's a 7-game season a 7-game series for a reason. But it always amazes me how teams and media want to shut it down after game 1. Like, it's a 7-game series. It's going to take its own shape. Let's let it take its shape before we start trying to say, oh, now I can't see it being nothing but a gentleman's sweep. It's too soon.
Game 2 is very important for New York, though. You dropped that one now.
Yeah, but still, we've seen series go where the road teams have won all the games as well. Yeah. So it's not like we're doing it. I mean, the Nats wouldn't have a World Series if it wasn't for the road team winning every game in the series. So I get it. I like it, but I think this is one of those situations where I think in New York, you got to take a deep breath, and then you come out and you play just like you did the night before, play a little bit better defense, closing out on threes, because that's what I would work on, closing out. Yep. As long as we get our closeouts right, we should be good, and we should win game 2.
I'm gonna say this. You talk about bulletin board material. I would take a picture of Halliburton doing the Reggie Miller choke, and that'd be on my bulletin board.
Yeah,
we don't need it.
Halliburton,
and that. But you also got to remember that whole thing happened in the playoffs. Now this is just doing nothing but igniting the rivalry back up. It's like the pilot light was on. Now you about to turn the whole burner on. This motherfucker about to be on high. This is gonna be good. This is going 7 games. They play again. Tomorrow night?
Yep. Yeah. It's alternating nights the rest of the way now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
NHL and NBA both is West East the rest of the way.
Yep.
And that right there, that's my bulletin board material right there. Because what you not gonna do, and if I'm not mistaken, that was in New York, correct?
Yeah.
That was in the Garden.
And don't forget, Indiana lost that series.
Yeah. And that's what I was gonna say. Indiana lost that series, but he did that. All right, let's go ahead and put him up out of here. Let's go ahead and win 4 straight because you ain't gonna do that in my house. Now, normally, I'd be like, hey, you got a goon on the end of the bench. I'm like John Chaney. You got a goon. You gotta have a goon. What you give me? I got this guy to give me 30 points a game. This guy to give me 29. This guy to give me 15 rebounds. This guy to give me 12 assists. And I got a guy to sit on the end of the bench to give me 6 hard fouls. That's all I need. But we're not doing that because that's not the style of play we play anymore. You got to have something to ignite you because you got to steal. They stole one on your floor. That's the problem. You can't let them steal one on your floor. So you need to win at least the next 3.
Yeah. They stole one, yes. But
yeah, they definitely stole one.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there's no need to hit the panic button. There's no need to even throw out extra, like, it's 1. It only counts as 1. Like, no matter how we lost it and how we finished the ball game, it's 1. I mean, you can if you want to quote by Brian McKnight, back at 1. It's 1 game. That's all it is. And you can't get caught up in the mix of it. You can't make it more than that.
It still stings to have it in your grasp.
Yeah, it stings, but
you gotta shake that off and go on to the next.
Hey, like you said before, Jack, if Aaron Smith can go 8 or 9 every night of this tournament of this thing, then we deserve to panic and be worried. But I don't see that happening. I don't see the sun shining on that dog's ass that many times. I don't see a blind squirrel getting that nut every time. I don't see that garbage can getting the steak.
That's definitely same as my comparison, no doubt.
Yeah.
No
broken
doubt.
Clock. It's right twice a day.
Matty Ice said the end of that basketball game was crazy. J Dub said Naismith couldn't miss from 3 for the Pacers. Yeah. And when your team is down 3 goals after 1 in a must-win game, say fuck it, get drunk and watch the sideline junkie. Oh shoot! What
cheers, Matty. Cheers, buddy.
What you drinking, Matty? You drinking an IPA a lager, a draft. What you drinking?
He might be wanting some tequila right now. Shoot,
a craft beer.
The way them 3 goals got scored, I felt bad for him just watching it.
Well, speaking of which, let's give an NHL update real quick, fellas. As we said, it's the end of the first period. Panthers up 3-0 on the Hurricanes. As far as the other side, Dallas leads the they don't do East and West in hockey, do they? It's East and West, ain't it? Okay.
East and West.
Okay, so Dallas is in the Western. They won 6-3 yesterday. They took a 1-0 lead.
Dude.
Florida already has a 1-0 lead. This is game 2.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Live. Edmonton can't let Dallas do that to him again.
Nah.
Dallas came out and what we're watching right now is the same thing Dallas did to which call last night.
Yep.
If you asked their coach before the game, he probably dropped some Clubber Lang on you. He said the only prospect is Payne because the Stars came out, scored early, and Edmonton had no answers.
No, that's not necessarily true. Dallas scored early, but Edmonton put up 3 after 2. It was 3-1 after 2. And what Dallas did in the third period, they slapped 5 on them.
Right.
That's the part that was banged up.
Yeah.
But not the beginning of the game.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say the beginning. No, yeah. By the time I looked, it was 3-1. I came back, it was 4-3. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, no, Edmonton had Draisaitl involved early. I think he scored the first goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we missed that last night.
McDavid was throwing the puck around, passing, dishing. They were doing fine, and then they ran in that buzzsaw in the third period. It was like, damn, watch out.
I'm going to give Jack a shout-out because he can say Draisaitl now without any problems. Because that shit, boy, woo!
Yeah. He's my favorite dude. I like him and McDavid. I like both of them. But yeah, last year I was like, Draisaitl? Yeah. Thank you very much. I've been working on it. But
there you go. See? Going back to what KG said in the beginning of the show. You got to make yourself better. You know what I'm saying? Get better at your craft.
Coming into NHL, covering NHL last year wasn't something I was doing a lot of. So, now, I cover badminton, volleyball, flag football, NFL, everything, baby. We everywhere.
That should be the saying. That should be the tagline.
Hey, if it's a sport, I'll check it out. Especially during playoffs, Minarada. I know how you like it too. When you get an opportunity to see the best of the best playing, that's when to tune in.
Yep.
And I think Edmonton is the strongest team out here. I still feel that way. But they didn't play like it last night, and the Stars put a whooping on them in the third. It was ugly, dude.
And Matty Ice said Dallas' third period was amazing last night. Dallas scored 5 in the third, 3 power play goals in a row.
Yeah, they was just shooting.
And Jack, I think that's why, because when I fell asleep, woke up to that game, and all I saw was the 3 goals. I was like, oh. Yeah. No, they said, they was in the power play the whole quarter, damn near, it seemed like. But they was just, when the power play comes on for Edmonton, man, I feel they got, I don't know who's the best at power play goals. I think I heard the Caps are pretty good at it, but Edmonton doesn't do bad on power play either, man. And like I say, to have 2 all-stars like McDavid and Draisaitl shots at you, and that's hard to stop. And you give Stars some dap on that, I give you dap, Stars.
Maddie said he going with rum and cokes, more rum than coke. Jeez. I hope you ain't got to work in the morning, Maddie.
I used to bang some rum and cokes out.
He works from home. What are we doing here? He works from home.
You still got to get up and go to work. I work from home sometimes too.
Hey, come on, dog. He ain't got to worry about commuting. He can get the hair off the dog anytime he wants.
No, hold on. You talking about he ain't got to worry about commuting. Let me tell you something. When I work from home, my commute is more dangerous when I work from home than it is when I go out in the field. Because that traffic that be in the hallway, whew, you get up at the wrong time, man. You hit that traffic trying to get to the desk. I've hit that traffic plenty of times. Plenty of times. Next up, college football announces changes to the playoff seeding. It will now be a straight seeding model. Midnight Rider, tell me and Jack how that works.
Dude, what do you mean? Tell you how it works. I've been telling you this was going to happen the whole time the playoffs was going on last year. They're not going to let the division winners become the top 4 seeds. So for now, like they said, the top 4 teams are the top 4 teams in whatever ranking system they have. So 1 through 4 will be 1 through 4. They'll get the buys. Now, the thing that still stays the same is all 5 conference champions still qualify for the tournament. So if you got, like last year, if you got SMU that qualifies for the tournament, well, SMU qualifies, but now SMU, instead of them being a 3 or a 4 seed, in this model, they become like 11 or 12, a 12 or 13 seed, because that's how they finished in the polls afterwards. So all they did was they took everything we said we thought were going to be the changes and put them in place, because you can't have, and I think that's how they felt. You couldn't have SMU with a guaranteed bye.
Right.
And you couldn't have, I forgot the other school that was it was 2 schools from like the ACC was SMU. Who was the Big 12 champ? Boise State. No, but not Boise State. Yeah. Boise State was the other team that got a bye. They couldn't have those teams getting the bye. Not with the way the money works in this situation with the SEC and the Big Ten. Go ahead, Jack.
It made the old way made some matchups that I felt should have happened a round or 2 later in the playoffs too.
Exactly.
So I like this.
Well, we liked this from the beginning because that's what we thought after we saw the original and we saw it play out. The first thing we said was, as a group, there's no way they're going to let this stay like this, because too many of the big schools had to go to the other places, to the smaller schools.
Yeah.
And that just wasn't going to be a thing. You can't have the better matchup being the 1 versus, the 1 seed playing somebody. That can't be your best matchup, and that's happening around 2.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Penn State's getting SMU at home. No. But that's the layout of the land. So now all you know is just be ready for 1 through 4 is going to be your top 4 teams in the country, and then they'll rank everybody else based on how they finish. But you still get the guaranteed bids for the conference champions if they're a Power 5 conference champion.
Right.
Make sense, KG?
All right, we're going too.
Nah, he probably got something going on. So let's go ahead and hit this NFL stuff, because we had a couple of votes in NFL, and then we'll come back and let him make his comment if he wants to comment on the changes in the.
My bad.
No, you good.
I'll
take it back. We want.
This works for me, because that means that Notre Dame can be the number 1, 2, 3, 4 seed, and they can get a first round bye, instead of number 1 being Notre Dame being the number 1 team in the country and only getting the 5th seed, and still got to play every round. I like this. I like this a lot. This is something that you did say would happen. You did say that it will work this way, but you got some people that want to expand it to 40 teams. I think that right there is the worst thing you can do. This is football. Basketball, you can get away with 64, 68 teams. You can get away with that in basketball. In football, you can't get away with a whole bunch of teams because guys can't play back-to-back. And
Well, they floated a model that the SEC and the Big Ten wanted guaranteed like 4 spots for their conference.
Oh. Yeah.
That was one of the proposals.
Yeah, I know, and they got some time to vote on this still. I like it at 8. I've heard 16. I haven't heard 40, but
I think it was just it was something thrown out there. Throw it against the wall, see if it stick.
Yeah, I think 8 is perfect. Maybe 10. But
we're higher than that now, Jack.
We're at 8 right now.
Nah, we're more than 8.
We're at 12.
12. My bad. I like it at 12.
I was thinking.
Yeah, my bad. I like it at 12. 16, that's just a little jump, but I know it's all going to be because of money. I mean, this cow can't be getting drained by NIL now without them going to make more money. So I like it at 12. I think it's fair. More fair than two teams getting a shot and 3 teams saying they got shafted, by the selection committee and stuff. So I'm cool with 12. Really don't want it to go up more. I think it'll water it down a little bit not because of weakness or strength, but because of not enough time to get the games in my opinion. You definitely can't go shorter than a week between games.
Nah, all you would do is, so say you went 14
season games.
No, you don't change that either. Because all you do is take away the number of buys. So if you went to 14, the model would be 14 teams playing. You'd have a 4-game first set, and then you're going to give 2 buys.
No, it'll be end up being
you take away an extra. You take away a buy and add an extra game.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't want this.
4, that's how it is. And so instead of 4 first-round games, you'd have 5, and then you have 2 teams with buys, and they would be guaranteed like the lower of the seeds coming out because you reseed it because they love the reseed term playoffs nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed the 1 seed and the 2 seed, whatever the lowest advanced seed is.
Right. And yes, some teams will play 3 games. Some teams can play 4 if they win it all.
Right. Exactly.
But it's like, I don't want this to get into the schedule, like I know it will if they add more games in the playoff, and start either eliminating or cutting back some of these rivalry games that go on at the end of seasons. You watch a lot of the games at the end of season in college football, you see rivalry week. You got your Floridas against your Florida States, your Auburn versus your Alabama, your Shillelagh or whatever, your USC, Notre Dame. I just don't want to see a bigger college football playoffs knock out some of these rivalry games. That's just me. So it looks like Maddie likes this change.
I don't think you have to worry about that, Jack, because
I don't know.
The only one that's so far and that's being talked about being lost is the USC Notre Dame one. So the Shanae might come up. That's only
no. Wait. Time out.
What?
It's the Jude Shillelagh. It's a difference. It's a difference.
It's a Shillelagh. It's Shanae. You know how I roll. But right, okay. So you're telling me it ain't going to do like that, but I hear it might be happening with the Notre Dame USC game. So
that's what you said.
I know. I'm repeating what you said.
Oh, okay.
Before you said that, you told me, no, it's not going to happen like that. But so already the ball's rolling. If you want to accept,
but that's not because of the playoff system. That game is in jeopardy because USC is in a conference that's superhuman size, and like they're playing better teams. You know what I'm saying? Inside their conference, they're fighting Ohio State, Michigan.
Well, they can take out Southwest Arkansas, Kansas State, and put in USC instead of that cupcake game.
Well, USC want to add in the cupcake game instead of playing Notre Dame.
Well, one of them's got to give it up.
But that right there, I saw that, and it's who's the coach over there? USC, Lincoln Kelly,
Riley.
Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
He wants to stop that. He wants to back out of that after 25 or whatever it is. And I'm like, dude, do you realize this is played every year? This is a yearly game.
Dude, he trying to stay.
You don't just back out of a yearly rivalry. That's like saying the Iron Bowl is not played. The Iron Bowl is played every year. You don't back out of the Iron Bowl because you feel like you want an easier schedule. What kind of punk move is that? You scared? Say you scared.
He wants,
and I'm directing that directly.
Hold on,
wait. I'm directing that right at Lincoln Riley and USC. You scared? Say you scared. But if you scared, go to church. And you can come on to South Bend. We'll take you to church. We'll in the shadows of touchdown Jesus. We will give you what you want. But ain't no need to ruin the daggone rivalry. Like, that hurts my heart because I live for that game every year. Every year I live for that. And now you talking about taking it from me? Yes, I'm very upset about that.
2 times in one show, MR. Just junkies having a little fun, baby.
Oh man, I ain't think. Hey, you got like 2 beefs now. You came in with a gripe.
Sure did. We're gonna send him to Wendy's.
I had put that to the side. I
was like,
I wasn't gonna mess with it because it's not official. But yeah, Lincoln Riley, if you scared, say you scared.
Nah, this is like there's a term I learned from JP and B Mitts. They say that coaches are sometimes in the self-preservation mode. And I think this is a self-preservation move. If you take Notre Dame off the schedule, that gives you one less team that could possibly be ranked in the top 25 that you got to play against when you play in a conference schedule with a bunch of teams that are going to be ranked in the top 25. And I think that's the exchange off of that. I think most of the other rivalries will get worked out. Like they're talking about moving Ohio State and Michigan from the last week of the season and playing it earlier, so that because of their schedule and because of the playoffs. So that game is normally one of the last Saturdays of the season. It's with all the other games. They play it every Saturday at 12 p.m. It starts off with rivalry week. Let me say that 3 times fast. Suffering succotash.
Try it again.
Nah, we good, man. Rivalry week. Yeah, we good.
Rivalry week.
Rivalry week. Yeah. But no, unique New York. But no, that's just how it's gonna be, man.
I feel you. They got till December 21st to vote on it. It's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, and plus that in the contract, so it's not like you're cutting it off or you're not doing it, you're just not renewing the contract.
But we've gotten to the point.
KG, I know what you want to say. I get it. It's okay. I know you love traditions and everything. But you're in the ever-changing world of college football right now.
Yeah. But John McCain would never.
You did just add Clemson. So adding Clemson to Notre Dame's schedule as a guarantee, as opposed to doing that ACC thing. And honestly, I think that's a preemptive strike because I don't know what Notre Dame's doing next. Because you just don't add an ACC team to your schedule on a regular basis and not have some other contingency plans going on. So,
but they got a contract with the ACC for to 30, where they got to play an ACC schedule. They're gonna have ACC teams for to 2030.
So I wonder when this Clemson automatic comes into effect.
I don't know, man. But with all these playoff games, before you know it, man, they're gonna be playing 17-game season, man.
But to Lincoln Riley doing this and this whole whatever you want to call it, John McKay wouldn't do this. John Robinson wouldn't do it. Pete Carroll wouldn't do it. Hell, Lane Kiffin and Ed Ogeron wouldn't do this. If you're not playing the top teams,
I don't know. I think yeah, I think Ed Ogeron.
If you're not playing the top teams, what are you doing? Because I mean, whatever happened to strength of schedule? Ain't that how you move up in the rankings? Strength of schedule.
Sorry, man. You like we get what you saying.
Y'all got some great Ed Ogeron impersonation. That's one. But isn't that how you move up in the rankings? Strength of schedule.
I forgot what you griping about. I think I started this though.
I think the difference is what he's trying to do is he knows he's playing in a bigger and better conference. So you got to preserve yourself some W somewhere. There's no need in trying to play the monster of Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon in the same season. Not everybody else is going to have that squabble. And sometimes you got to save yourself from yourself. I mean, you talking about guys that, we talking about a league that tradition is dead. That's all I'm going to say.
You can say that again.
Yeah.
You that statement right there carries so much weight.
Yeah,
those three words, tradition is dead. That carries weight.
But that statement carries weight for the traditionalists. For everybody else that's out here trying to get money, they're gonna let cash rule everything around them. Cream get the money. Dollar bill, y'all.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Bills, y'all.
Well, all right. Maddie said he liked the change. J Dub gave an update 29-25 OKC after the first, but I think we probably passed that.
Yeah, we're at 45. We're at 45-42. 5 minutes left. Second quarter, OKC.
All right, let's round this out, fellas. The tush push sneaks in with a 22-10 to vote. How you feel about this?
I'll go first, Midnight Ride. I ain't got much, but I thought it was going to get voted to go through. I really did because, this is the second time they brought it up in a short time. So, I don't know. I'm kind of a guy that says if you can't stop it, but it is a assisted run. So they've modified the rules for assisted runs in the years past. So maybe they're going to modify it again to go away to where you can't do this tush push. But I'm a little surprised that it didn't go through today. But I don't see them stop trying. I don't see them stop trying to ban it. I got a feeling there's going to still be teams crying about it. But it is what it is, and Philly's good at doing it, and they got a top-notch line. I've seen several other teams try to do it. Nobody does it with the success Philly does, so, hey, can't beat them. Join them or figure something else out to do your way.
No, I think the league is unfortunately waiting for the moment that something does happen, and then they have to do something about it. Whether that's the defense deciding that, all right, when you line up in this formation, I'm going to take my two linebackers and put them behind the D tackles, and they're going to have their hands on the butts, and they're going to push back. Things of that nature. How are we going to handle those scenarios? I think the sentiment was, what's wrong with the play? And the problem is, if you watch, how am I going to say this the right way? If you watch the game, the way it's played, there's probably every game a play where an offensive lineman pushes a running back into the end zone to help him score a touchdown. You go back to that Detroit game with Washington. One of the linemen jumped in and assisted the runner. And I think the league doesn't know how to take that out of the ball game. So you can't make a rule saying you can't assist the runner because you're going to have a league-wide problem of missing out on these situations where the linemen were helping the running backs get across the line or that receiver get across the first down marker and however it goes. And I think they weren't prepared for that next step and the language that comes with it. And I think that's part of the reason Green Bay's thing didn't come in to the last minute. It's because they were working on the language to make it right. And I literally think that Green Bay had Roger kind of help them shape their proposal so it sounded the right way. And I think that's where the struggle is. The struggle is identifying what's a football play and how does the tush push break what's a football play.
I'm gonna say this. That game, the final game of the season against Philly, and they kept running the tush push, and Lugu was jumping over the line, and the referee came out and said he was going to award points to Philly. That's when I think the tush push got out of hand, because I've read the rule book backwards, forward, sideways. I've read it upside down. I've read it in 17 different languages, and I ain't never seen nothing in the rule book say you can award somebody points for something like that.
Well, there is a rule in the book, and maybe the interpretation comes off of this, where, like, say a player comes off the sideline and tackles someone, you can award a touchdown in that scenario. Or even if Tomlin actually made contact with Jacoby Jones on that play. Okay, I don't think he did because they would have called it. I think it was close enough, but it wasn't no contact. But those are the type of scenarios where that ruling comes into play. And that's all I'll say on that part.
So I gotta say about that.
Okie dokie. We'll see how that works out. It's about that time. Time to wrap that shit up, B. I'll throw it to you gentlemen first, and I'll go last. Final thoughts before the end of the night.
I expect to see some good basketball in these championship rounds of the Eastern and Western Conference. Like I say, I expect both of them to go at least 6. Wouldn't be surprised to see some Game 7s in the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference. So, yeah, I'm amped up for some nice basketball. And then you got Edmonton, and you got the Canes, and you got the Stars. And who are the Canes playing?
The Panthers.
The Panthers, the champs, the current champs of the NHL, the Panthers. And I believe I'm correct in saying that. So, it's been tricky. I caught myself. I've been watching a little more baseball. It's kind of my transition time now because I do love playoff sports, and that basketball and hockey going at the same time. It's been hard to watch a lot of baseball. So I'm making the slow transition to watching my baseball, and I look forward to baseball shows coming up soon. Been I right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to close you out with a little scoreboard before you go. So here we go. Brewers 5, Pirates 3, rain delay. Nationals 7, Braves 7, end of 9th, so we're going into extra innings. Astros 5, Mariners 2, in the 4th. Yankees 1, Rangers nothing, final score. Blue Jays 7, Padres 6, final and 11. Phillies 2, Rockies nothing, final score. Angels 10, Athletics 5, final score. Guardians 7, Tigers 0, final score. We got the Fever 80. The Dream 76. 14 and a half seconds left. We got the Liberty 75. The Sky 54 at the end of the third. Back to the top, we got the Timberwolves 45. Thunder 47. 3 minutes left in the second. And of course, we have the Panthers 3. The Hurricanes nothing. Middle of the second quarter. That's your Junkies roundout before we go. KG.
Well, I like how you threw the commercial in there and everything. No comment, no nothing. Just threw the commercial in that thing. Hey, take this commercial. Hey. Scoreboard. Well, my final thoughts are: it's Friday Eve. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to try something different. I'm sorry.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. I like where you went with it. My final thoughts are: it's Friday Eve. Tomorrow's Friday. So, once you get off work Friday, you come in the house, you get settled. You get up Saturday morning, you turn on the time tunnel with Mr. C on 96.3 WHUR, or you pull up Spotify, you type in My Grooves in the search bar, and you check out my personal playlist that'll get your Saturday off right. Then after you do that, you go run your errands, you open up the house, light a couple incense, throw in a little Luther, little Prince, little Michael, clean the house out and everything, enjoy the weather. You can settle in because if you look out over the horizon, I think I see the mothership coming. Swing down, sweet chariot, stop.
But
let me ride.
On Saturday morning, you can also type in on your Spotify and hit up Sideline Junkies and listen to our show.
The bit killer.
Nah, I ain't killing no bit. He bringing the mothership down. I get it.
KG, where's the mothership taking you?
Home.
The mothership takes you from pillar to post all around the wrestling world with the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs, the world-renowned Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. We are known across the globe. Very, very good show. But when you see the mothership coming, all you got to do is shout out, swing down, sweet chariot, stop. Let me ride. Because I want to ride. But I'm going to take my P-Funk self to bed. That's the Gentleman Jack. That's the Midnight Ride. I'm the big guy, KG. We did it in an hour and 33 tonight, y'all. We'll be back Sunday with the Sunday Rise.
Whoa.
But before that, we got the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs, then the Sunday Rise, then Drive Time with Matty Ice, Tuesday Night Flight, in the passenger seat with the Gentleman Jack Carr in his backseat driving the Midnight Ride, and then it brings you right back to Friday Eve for the Thursday Night Throwdown next week. Oh, we got to check with Matty. Monday's a holiday. We got to see what Matty going to do for the holiday.
You guys don't know, but Monday is Jack Day. Monday is Jack Reborn Day. This is considered Jack Weekend.
That's why it's a holiday. That's why it's a holiday.
Correct. So
we're gonna celebrate Jack on Monday. That's what we're gonna do.
Jack Day. I love it. I love my birthday.
What you got on the docket, man?
To Memorial Day weekend. What
you got on the docket?
For Wednesday?
No, for Monday.
No, your weekend, man.
Your birthday, the weekend.
Going with the flow, man. Gonna eat some good food and hang out with my girls, man. I don't do nothing wild. Man, you know.
Is there a toll getting to you?
Huh?
Is there a toll to get to you?
Yeah, of course there is. You gotta pay to see the big dog.
I don't know if I want to come out there then.
Yeah, it's only one way though. So you go home for free. Come see me, you gotta pay. You go home for free.
All right, I see what the weekend look like, man.
But we ain't got no plans. Like I say, we probably gonna go out to supper. I don't know if it'll be Monday. I don't know if it'll be Sunday. as long as I get to chill with my girls a little bit and I mosey around, I'm cool. It used to be a big event, man. Go get plastered everywhere for 3 days, and yeah, I don't do that no more. I just straighten my head up and I just go on smooth.
All right, cool, man.
Yeah. So everybody get ready for the weekend of Jack.
Sound good to me.
So
KG.
For the gentleman Jack and his weekend of Jack, for the Midnight Rider and his drink of choice, the gentleman Jack, that's Jack Daniels for those that don't know. I'm the big guy KG and my drink of choice is water. We out of here, y'all.